Hey friends, thank you so much for tuning in to today's live stream. I'm so excited to talk about a book today that you must read. It is absolutely lights out, amazing. I cannot wait to talk about it. All right, let's go. So yesterday in class, it was Friday, and I always read with my students a little bit on Friday. And I don't know about you, but a lot of times when life gets crazy, I sometimes forget to bring my book with me. And I was reading one book, and I left it at home, so I grabbed another book that I had gotten in the mail the previous day, and I said, "Oh, I'll start reading this, and then I'll finish the other book when I get home, or sometime this coming weekend." And it never works out that way, right? Like you pick up this new book and it absolutely captivates you and you can't stop reading it. So I read this book yesterday in the morning with my class. I read this book yesterday at lunch. I read this book in the evening when I was supposed to be working on presentations. I read this book at night when I was supposed to be sleeping. And then I went to the Y today and I was going to ride the bike for 30 minutes. And usually I run or do the elliptical. I only ride the bike when I want to read. So I'm like, I'm going to ride the bike for 30 minutes. That'll give me some time to read. 75 minutes later, I finished the book that captivated my heart, the must-read book of 2018, the book that belongs on every best book list, the book that will get all kinds of Newbery buzz is Amal Unbound by Aisha Saeed. I hope that I said that right. If not, I truly apologize. I should have been more prepared. This book, friends, is lights out. It completely will blow your mind. Amal is a child, a middle grade child, just like the people who will be reading this book. And she is in school, and she's the oldest of, I believe it's three or four daughters. I think it's four daughters. And she's able to go to school. Her family has some money, not as much money as, I have, like not that I'm rich or anything, I'm a teacher, but they're comfortable for their Pakistani village. They're actually doing pretty well. And her mom is pregnant with another child, and everyone is hoping for a son, and it is a daughter. And the mother goes into severe, what I believe is postpartum depression, and Amal ends up having to stay home and help take care of the family and take care of everything. And she actually has to stop going to school, and school is everything to her. Reading is everything to her. So she has to stop going to school, and it's just terribly sad. And then one day she has a little bit of free time, and she's walking into the market, and she buys a pomegranate and a couple other things. And this man, she walks back into like the street where everyone's walking. This man hits her with his car, and he gets out and starts yelling at her. And she's just like so confused and lost. And then he demands the pomegranate that she didn't want to apologize to him. And then she gives him the pomegranate. And she is just like disoriented. And she hasn't had any sleep. And she just wants something for herself. And she's like, no. And he starts yelling. And then she just takes off and runs home. Well, that man was part of the Khan family. And just think like, I don't know, Scarface, the mafia, Sopranos, all of that. Like this family basically runs things, and they're terrible, terrible humans. And he comes to the family's house, and he's going to take her to repay the family's debt. The family owes money, so he calls on the debt. And when they don't have the money, he just says, "Well, I will take your daughter, and if you don't like that, then you're gonna have to. You don't want the other consequences. Like this is your best chance." And devastated, the family has to agree. So she goes to live with them basically as a slave. And it's just awful. And she loves school and books, and she can't have any of that. Thankfully, she gets to take care of that terrible man's mother. And she's at least like a semi-decent human being, just kind of maybe a victim of circumstance. But the book is just like etched in my head, like my white male middle class suburban head of like, oh my gosh, like this SHT is real, and this is happening to people in this world. And I just can't wait for kids to read this book, because if this book is going to have this sort of impact on me, I just can't imagine the impact that it's going to have on kids. I have one kid in particular who just loves books and loves learning more and loves growing as a person. And I can't wait for Monday morning to book talk this book to her. I know she's going to love it. I kind of feel sad to like let it go. It doesn't let it go. That song has not died. For people who don't have little kids, that song is still going strong in our house. The Greatest Showman, that's starting to take over a little bit, but Frozen still rules. This book doesn't come out until May of 2018. If you want to pre-order, which you do because you need this book, it will change your life. I'll put a link down in the description below. If you click on that, you can get it, or get it from your local indie. I don't care. You just need this book. You need to pre-order it. We need to get this book on the New York Times bestseller list because everyone needs to read this book. You got like, I wish that I could like make you on. I wish I could reach through your computer screen or your phone screen or your tablet. I don't know if anyone actually uses tablets. I'm not a tablet fan. And like, you need to read this book. It's just so captivating. Like, you will want to ride. You will ride an exercise bike for 75 minutes to finish this book. Like, it is that good. What else? Nancy Paulson books. Nancy Paulson, the editor of Jacqueline Woodson, the Acklin of Linda Mullally Hunt, what did I say? The editor of Linda Mullally Hunt. I don't know. This book is just, this book, guys, like, you need to read this book. And the cover, my light is here, so it's hard to see. But the cover is, that gets kind of a nice light. The cover is unreal. Sorry, some lighting issues here. I wanted to show you the cover. The light is not falling. Anyways, you have to read this book. I want to know. I want you to go buy it, and I want you to tell me that you bought it. I want you to leave a comment when you bought it, and that will make me happy because this book needs to be read by kids. This book is super important. The cover is just gorgeous. Like, look at that cover. But it's what's within the pages that is so important, that is so beautiful, that is so distinguished. Oh my gosh. Oh, and one thing that I loved about the writing, I felt like the last line of every chapter is like tweetable or quotable. Like, I just kept picturing John Shue reading this book and like making a Canva where he like makes these quotes of authors and then posts them in social media or puts them in slides. There were so many beautiful lines in this book. Oh, one other thing that I really loved, I love the length. It is 220-ish pages. Travis Yonker wrote a post once about like every children's book should be like 196 pages. It was tongue-in-cheek. But I love the length of this book. Like, this book could have been a lot longer, and I still would have loved it. And I would have spent as much time in this story as possible that I possibly could. But I felt like the length was just absolutely perfect for the reader that will have their life changed by this book. So I don't know what else to say. I feel like if I just keep talking, like, then I will just like, you will get so annoyed by me that you will stop listening and go buy this book. Like, go buy this book. Every time I talk about best books of 2018, this book is going to be one of the first ones that I talk about. This book, guys, I'm just telling you, like, if you've ever trusted me on a book and that trust came through with you enjoying the book that I recommended, like, listen to me here. Like, listen to me and trust me on this one. You want to read this book. All right. Let me know when you bought the book. If you'd also like to leave a comment and let me know what other books are going to change my life like this one did, I would appreciate it so very much. One of the wonderful things about Twitter and Instagram and Facebook and being connected socially is that I never read books that I don't love. I was looking through Goodreads, and like, everything that I'm reading is 5 stars because so often my friends are reading it and I'm reading the books that they're recommending. And the friends that I trust as readers are helping build my stack. So if you trust me as a reader even a little bit, this is the book for you. May 2018. I feel like a jerk because I'm like, oh man, it's February, March, April, May. It's a long ways away, but it's worth the wait. It's unreal. Just like start tweeting Penguin, like at Penguin Kids, at Penguin Class, Trevor Ingerson. Just like start tweeting like everyone who works at Penguin. Just like keep bothering them. Maybe they have extra advanced copies. Just bother them and bother them and bother them because you need this book. Promise you'll like buy a bunch of. I don't know what you need to do, but you need to read this book. All right. I would send it to you, but I have a student who has to read it. I'm so sorry. I feel bad about that. but you will thank me when you read it. Thank you so much for watching. I really appreciate it. It means the world to me. I hope you are doing well and that you have a wonderful weekend. As always, thanks for tuning in, and happy reading.